Hey, Larry, Katie, and Taylor here today, and Amy Spahala. She's got a lot of great ideas and suggestions. So for this week, and hopefully you're having a good week, we're getting a lot of rain, but so is the East Coast. Um, I wish that California would get all this rain. You would never have another fire. This is ridiculous because it rains every other day, and you can't get anything. Well, Diane and I have given up on our garden because it's totally weeds and it's just everything's running amok. And it's too wet to get in there and do anything. So, but let's get back to work. Work has been good. Business has been steady. We're trying to get back on our bonanza growth from COVID, and things have settled down a little bit, just like the economy. And I'm sure you're noticing it with your customers and your business. And so, we're trying to figure out what are some of the new cool things that we can do to pop this off and make things different. So, I know the marketing and the vendor relations group have all been doing some cool stuff. SOS and ACES have. There's a new project that Nancy and I are working on with TradeNet, and who just moved up to a Patriot Level partner. That is it's about schools. It's a school vertical. So we've got a lot of people that are in the school vertical, but this is a special push where they're going to give us 1,000 schools throughout the country. We haven't got the list yet. We got the list of salespeople, so we'll be reaching out and trying to figure out who's interested and what products do they want to push, and what's our opportunities. So we're still trying to refine that. We're looking at how do we do that. And some of this stuff may be a combination of working with sales associates in the area, doing telemarketing with those sales associates in that area, and trying to figure out how to make the best package work. But vendor relations had an email today from, I think it was, today, Thursday. It was an email on the Hirsch webinar. It's a recording. Attached to the recording is a Yeti flyer, so you get a Yeti product at a super deal. But anyhow, they're talking about faster lead times as far as moving forward and getting it done. But Brett Long from the Hirsch, he's our key account manager. He did that webinar, and it'll be attached to this email. Katie from marketing sent out an email today and said, please share your success. We need your thoughts, your ideas. What success story do you have? Big, middle, large, whatever. Doesn't have to be large. What's the niche? What was the product or problem? What was the product? What was the solution? How those work together to solve it? Who's the customer and what niche are you in? We learn from our peers. I said that 40 some years ago. We would get together and talk. We'd talk stories. We talk sales, and we talked about our successes. That's how we learned. And you learn better than anything from your peers. Go out to Yammer, go out to all the groups, ask, listen, and read stuff, because it's all around you. The knowledge and answer is in the field. You're in the field. So just listen and try to poke around and ask them. You have regional groups, get engaged with those regional groups. Marketing did an email Wednesday about a new marketing video. They constantly come out with new tools for you to use and get in front of your customer. So use them. Taylor and the vendor relations group have worked with coming up with the multiple line vendor. When I worked with Bill in the PAPX shows, because I wanted to have an end user show after COVID, and we needed to get back in the marketplace. So we started traveling around his show like the circus on his show circuit in about 20 some cities for a couple of years, and we pushed a PAPX, which was all end users. And I had a little booth or table, and I sat out in front and greeted our salespeople, our customers, and I met all the multi-line reps. What I found, a lot of the multi-line reps wouldn't give us referrals of customers or salespeople, because I don't get paid from my manufacturer, because they don't know that I rep this state, and they just give it to whoever's got ASB. So the multi-line rep program is the only one in the industry that's focusing on those people that have nobody that has a voice for them. In other words, we're trying to unionize multi-line reps so that we can offer them some kind of support so they get paid, they get reporting, they get what they need, and we know who they are, and they're going to be in our vendor database. You will see that in the vendor database if they're a multi-line rep and all the lines they rep, because they are your contact. We're going to give them your name so they contact you. We need that interaction to work together. And you know what that's going to do? It's going to build a better relationship. And with a better relationship, you know what happens? They think of us first. They think of American first. They think of you first. If it's got a customer in your area, they're going to say, oh, Larry, he always gives me orders. I'm going to give him the lead because I get paid and Larry will get the sale. So that's what we're talking about, is how do we build relationships with forgotten people? Those people are forgotten and they aren't anymore for us in our industry. ASP did a Champ Pro pop-up store that was just launched, and it's some really cool stuff. I actually got a chance to take a picture in a lot of uniforms and jerseys for marketing. And, so hopefully the pop-up store works well, and you got some applications with your sports teams and in your, people in your area and customers in your area. Also, there's an intro to AI, artificial intelligence, that'll be on Thursday, August 16th. Watch for the time. Jake Krolik, who's from ASI, he actually did a webinar. He's going to do the webinar. We don't have the time yet, but you watch for it. You'll see the email. But actually, Jake did he was a presenter in Fort Worth for ASI, and he was there and gave us a session in our breakout. So make sure you attend and learn about AI. There's a lot of different versions of AI. Now, from Avis Paula, she had some cool thoughts. And so first one was best practices. Amy Vizient and Jimmy Vizient that had a discussion or a webinar, which will be attached. And so it was Wednesday, 8/7 at 2 p.m. So it was early this week. And so Central Time. So basically it talked about how do you learn from your peers? How do you work together, and how do you share ideas? And so they shared some thoughts and ideas. Now, second thought Amy has, it's time for you to share your case studies. We have a lot of new people in the industry now, starting with teams, starting with families, starting on their own. They're learning how do you learn? We don't have the majors teaching anybody. We don't have the industry teaching anybody. We don't teach anybody. We learn from each other. We learn like I learned back in 81 and with NCR, the marketplace. You go out and make calls. You be honest with your customer and say, hey, I just started. I don't have all the answers. But you know what? There's 700 salespeople plus in the American family, plus 600 plus support people that are either in extended services or have product knowledge. And I have years and years and years of experience at my fingertips. Just give me the problem and question. I'll be back tomorrow with an answer. That's how it worked in 1981 or the late 70s. That's how it works today. Be a people person, build a relationship, ask a question. You don't have to exactly dress like Columbo like I did, but ask the questions like Columbo did. So, but it's time for you, if you've got a success, share that damn thing. Get a hold of marketing. Get a hold of SOS and say, hey, guess what? I sold bazillion of this, and I never thought I'd ever sell that. But okay, how'd you do it? How did it all happen? People said, I always told people that every year, every stage, I say, you see $1 million guy, it's $1 million. He's really good. He must have a great account. You know what? He might have a bluebird, but you know what? He worked and worked and worked and worked, and finally it showed up. But the thing is, there's nothing magical about it, and he could lose it as fast as he got it. But the thing is he got it. And the thing that you have to keep pushing is asking the questions, build a relationship, keep your pipeline full. Don't hang on one order and live on one order. Build a base. But if you take care of your customers and care about your customers, they'll take care of you. It's that simple. This is not magic, you know. So, are you curious about what your peers are selling? The top 10 product categories are promotional products. Now, I know I give our people here at the home office a hard time because everybody's promo, you know, and now in Canada, the first 30 some people I met through Merrick at St. Regis, who is our biggest friend and sponsor in Canada, is all promo. They're all promo. And I said, do you realize that 50% of our business is still print? And there's a whole bunch of print in Canada, and nobody's talking about it. I'm going to talk about it. And I got to talk to Wayne and Gordon, and I says, you know, and Stan, I says, you know, we got to get together and do a skit at the next show because print is not dead. So we're going to do Not Dead Yet, just like Monty Python did in his Holy Grail. But we're going to talk about print. There's still a lot of ink on paper, but once you get ink in your veins or you smell of ink, you don't lose it. And so, yeah, all you promo guys, you're going to hear about print. You know, and I said all of my print guys in the 80s and 90s were sick and tired of hearing about promo, but you know what? They learned it and they got into it. It's out there. Whatever your customer wants, we got to do. So, promo products, apparel, uniforms. Now, number 3, commercial print. Number 4, labels and tags. You know what? Labels and tags will never go away. You can't do a promotional product to replace a label or a tag. You know, so they got, and business forms. My God, there's still people doing checks. Everybody thought Deluxe was going to go out of business with the credit card. They still do a lot of checks. Envelopes, mailers, direct mail, office supplies, furniture. Oh my gosh, office supplies. They still do paper clips. They still do supplies. I always said I'd never write an order for a box of paper clips, but I would sell an office supply catalog and let it run while I was driving down the road and the customer does it. I build it, do the matrix, do the pricing matrix, do the hierarchy, and now the customer does it. Oh, and here's another one, business cards and stationery. Another template. Learn how to do templates and turn it into a money-making opportunity without having to write an order. You know those promotional products? Even with ACES, you still got to do some order writing. You know, the pop-up stores, you still got to do that. These here template stores and supply stores, like business bank supplies and all that, you don't have to write an order. Point-of-sale displays, you know, that you got a lot of stuff that Showdown does that we need and that they do great. Packaging and kitting materials. So I rest my case. Now, would you rather write a lot of business and have 50% of it kind of doing itself, and the other 50% you might have to work a little bit? But the biggest thing is learn about e-commerce. Build that electric fence. I say sell programs, whether they're a pop-up store or a little store or one item or 2 catalogs in a store. Build stores, get people to do it online. That's the future. We were Amazon before Amazon. You could order from us 5 different product categories, get it in 5 different boxes on 5 different days from 5 different vendors. That's all Amazon does. They use technology to consolidate and buy and ship. They buy and sell. Now they're starting to make some stuff, but you know what? We have some larger distributorships and people that are joining us actually make stuff too. So it's kind of all different strokes for different folks, but it's whatever fits you. But the end of the day is there is no one way. There is no silver bullet. If there was, I'd be doing it. And if there was utopia, I want that phone call because I want to go there too. As always, peace and love. Hugs for you and your family. See you next week.